Hey there, Dave Conklin here with Conklin Media. I am really excited to be talking today about getting rid of the marketing team. Fire those suckers. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually a marketer, and hopefully, maybe someday I might be involved with your marketing team. Who knows? So I don't really want you to do that, but we are going to fire the concept of the marketing team today. And this is a business growth topic. This is not a marketing topic. This presentation is specifically geared to the CEO or other C-suite members of a company. If you are not a C-level executive in your company, I would be honored if you would pass this along to leadership, because it is transforming the way that companies are doing business, and the fastest growing companies in the universe right now are using this concept of a growth team. So let's get to it. Let's get rid of the marketing team and turbocharge your company's profits with a growth team. So in starting off this conversation, we're going to talk quickly about the old way of going to market. I have a little quote here. "We've always done it this way. It works fine," said the 2005 travel agency owner. We know how that went. There's quotes that many have read about Western Union's chief executive sending a memo out because he was getting memos requesting the purchase of telephones. And he made the statement that there is no practical business use for a telephone. Well, that proved to be completely wrong. So I want to share with the world, share with CEOs of companies that are mid-level, to honestly large businesses as well, this new idea of a business growth team. And even small companies can benefit from this. But so let's talk about how it kind of worked. So in the past, each department of a company was looked at almost as its own entity. Departments didn't really intercommunicate with each other. And I say didn't, they don't still, actually, in many cases. And I meet with hundreds of business owners every month, and this just simply is not happening. But anyway, so when it comes to designing products and services, the whole company doesn't get involved. There's an engineering department or a product design department, or just the CEO says, hey, here's the product we're going to do. And when they go to market, they're not involving certain people like tech usually. Well, why would the programmers get involved in going to market is the common thought. The sales team is completely separate than the marketing team in most cases. Now they communicate back and forth a little bit, but only to blame each other for the faults of what they feel the other department has. And customer support, well, they just get thrown in at the end to deal with all the crap that comes into the company, all the negative stuff. And hopefully they're listening a little bit and proactively responding too. But again, they're often not ever involved. Their leadership isn't even generally involved when it comes to actually designing products and the go-to-market strategy. They're just called in to deal with it at the end. So think about this for a second. We regularly at our company consult with companies, and we hear stories again and again and again of the sales team telling the marketing team that they need more support, and marketing blaming sales for their lack of a great closing ability. And tech always feels completely underappreciated because they have these amazing ideas to use technology to scale every single department within a company, but they're never called on because they're just looked at as the people who come around and fix computers or fix something on the website or take care of a software issue within a product. Engineering, and by engineering, by the way, I mean the people that are designing the products and or services in your company. They get frustrated that leadership wants the impossible. So, leadership comes in with their grandiose visions and they say, wow, let's do this and that. And engineering's like, we can't. And leadership, you're feeling many times like your entire team is just incompetent. But the reality is, because we're segmenting, we're putting all of these different divisions into silos. You've got the leadership team deciding on leadership things, but leadership, let's go back here, leadership What I've learned recently, and this drives me insane, by the way, leadership, C-level execs have no idea how to monetize social media. They have no idea how to incorporate digital marketing strategies into a P&L and actually have a profit and loss for the costs of digital marketing. And it's completely amazing and predictable, but it's often because they're not looking at social media as being the new way that their business communicates in every single department with their potential and current and future customers. They're looking at it like it's this thing, we have to go update our Facebook page just so we exist there. Listen, it's the same mentality that companies had about websites in the 90s. We just need one to sit there and look pretty. Now today, people have finally come to the realization that a website needs to be interactive. It needs to collect leads. It needs to produce what the people are looking for. We need to make sure that when someone's typing in blue widgets, they land on your page that talks about blue widgets. But it's so much more than that now on the social media side. Social media is a telephone. Take the telephone from your salespeople. Take email from your salespeople, and what would happen to your sales? Well, if you remove social media from your company, or I should say, if you don't take it and actually integrate it into every single section of your company, if you don't take data, let's say you're in the business of manufacturing washing machines, and dryers. Well, guess what? They have software now. So you're now a software company. And that software in the next couple of years, the Internet of Things, is going to be communicating constantly using the web with the users that are using it. You're going to know all of the problems that all of your products have. But if you don't start integrating social media into every single aspect of what you're doing, you're literally choking your business. So anyway, I digress. The engineering team, meaning the people who develop your products and services, they sit in a room and do that and then make decisions to go out and they give the products to the salespeople and the marketing team. But the marketing team and the salespeople, they didn't have any influence over the product that you created. And if they did, it wasn't legit like involvement. It was just, okay, we have this product now. We've manufactured this thing, or we've developed this service. Let's hand it over to the marketing and the sales team and tell them to go do it. And then marketing gets blamed when they don't generate enough leads for sales, and sales gets blamed when they're not closing enough. The tech team, the beloved tech team. I even made their icon here kind of dark and not really visible because guess what? In your organization, they're not. But guess what? Dropbox, Gmail, Hotmail back in the day, all of these different companies, Uber, I could go on and on and on. Their tech team was completely influential in the product engineering. Here's what I mean by that. Airbnb, for example. Airbnb was failing miserably over and over and over again. The founders of Airbnb were literally, get this, manufacturing cereal to pay the bills because they had no money, and they were eating the cereal. It's all they would eat so that they could actually afford to continue operating. They were flat broke. Tech guy came in and figured out a way to auto-magically get the listings on Airbnb to go onto Craigslist. And this was this big, drawn-out, long process to make this happen, and they figured it out and they did it, and then they started to experience growth. So they literally took the tech team and the marketing team and they pulled them in to develop the actual product. It was an amazing, amazing story. There are so many stories like this, and I don't have time to share anymore. And then customer support, often looked at as the very bottom of the totem pole in common organizations today. Oh, you get to deal with all the negative calls that come in. Oh, you get to handle that stuff. But very rarely are the pawns, so to speak, or the warriors that are out actually being the face of your organization, rarely are they coming back and offering engineering and leadership ideas on how to fix products. If a customer support team is set up properly, they're going to be listening on the web, not just about what people are saying negative about your products and services, but what they're saying about your competitors' products and services. If you're in the business of manufacturing an actual product, you could go on Amazon and see millions of reviews, potentially negative and positive, about your competitors' products. Well, guess what? That's not a stupid focus group that sits in a room and guesses what they want. That's actual, real, legitimate information that you're collecting from these individuals who are experiencing positive and or negative things with products like yours. It's an amazing thing. So this is the problem. We have these silos, but let's talk about some solutions. So the idea of this new business growth team will literally transform an outdated department of silos, an outdated company that has department silos, and turn it into a really amazing growth team. So let's talk about this strategy that we've developed. And by the way, this isn't our idea by any means. This is from stories of what people are doing right now that are growing at an astronomical rate. So the whole process of your business starts with product and service design. Now, that team, or that responsibility is a better way to put it, needs to have people represented there from leadership, from engineering or product and service design. Marketing needs to be there, sales needs to be there, support needs to be there, and tech needs to be there. And leadership needs to lead this in a way that empowers engineering to feel as small as support, and support to feel as big as engineering. There needs to be this input from support on what are people saying they're frustrated with. There needs to be input from salespeople on, we're having a challenge with getting in the door because we're hearing this, this, and this. And marketing needs to be there to say, well, no, I really don't think we can run pay-per-click. Why don't we try doing influencer outreach instead? All of these different people being involved in the actual product and design does something magical. Listen very carefully to this. It turns your products into a referral source. Think about this. What if you're developing an actual product that you're going to be selling on Amazon.com? Maybe there is some kind of a marketing strategy that can be integrated into the packaging that will, on average, get each product referred to one other person. Or maybe marketing comes up with a great idea and they say, hey, why don't we put a card where if they go to a website and fill out an opinion, or they fill out some kind of a survey, that they automatically get a gift card to give to one of their friends for $10 for one of their products. And then tech chimes in and goes, oh my gosh, if we do that, we could actually use a code that's linked into each product, and we could know which products are actually pushing that information. And engineering's getting excited because now they're like, oh, wait a minute, we could actually incorporate an NFC chip into the product. Like, I don't know. I'm brainstorming here, but services and products can be built specifically in a way that they create empowerment to your marketing and to your tech and to your customer support in an amazing way. And you have to have everybody involved in your product and service design in order to make that happen. Let's talk about awareness. So once you have a product and service designed, now we move into awareness. This is where you're getting the word out. You're shouting about your product and service. And to do that, you have to have marketing, obviously, and they're leading this particular stage in this process, in this flow. And you also have sales and tech there, though. Why? Well, because awareness is all about getting ads and content and emails and LinkedIn groups that you create in front of the people that are going to purchase your stuff. And if tech is there, they're going to know of ways to scale that, of ways to use technology to blow that stuff up and make it so much easier for your teams to do things. The sales team needs to be there because they need to understand, okay, we've developed this really cool product and marketing has this cool, thing they're going to do, but the awareness step is going to hopefully get content like, quite frankly, what you're watching right now is an awareness thing for us. You don't know who I am. And the first impression that you're having about me, unless it's you're already working with us, is this. And sales needs to be involved in this. They need to know what we're doing here, so that when the nurturing, which is the next phase, takes place, that they know what these people are excited about. So that brings us to the nurturing phase: marketing, sales, and tech. Again, the nurturing phase is like this. So awareness is, I'm on Facebook one day scrolling through my news feed, and I see a really enticing ad, and it says I'm really interested in the Yankees, and I'm a marketing guy. So maybe there's a shirt that has a funny slogan on it that a marketer would find funny, and it incorporates the Yankees into this t-shirt. So I'm like, oh wow, that's interesting. And so I click on that. When I click on it, I load a website up that I've never seen before in my life. Okay, now I'm aware. So that's awareness. So somebody specifically designed a product and service using marketing and sales and tech, figured out a way to get that in front of marketers who are Yankees fans. I'm now landing on this webpage and being introduced, but I leave because maybe I think it's too expensive. Well, what happens in that moment is, hopefully, there's a nurturing phase that takes place where I'm going to start to see advertisements and things about that product while I'm surfing the web the next day. And hopefully sales is involved in that, because they're going to know when I call that phone number and I call in to buy that product, or I go to the website again, if tech and sales and marketing are all communicating together, when I click on that ad and I go back to the site, there's going to be a chat box there, or there's going to be a salesperson there that knows who I am based on my last visit. And it goes the same way if you're in the B2B world, where if someone hits a page and let's say they want to buy a $15,000 high pressure industrial pump or something that you sell, I don't know, that product page, you can now, using technology, you can now follow me around the web, or that person that wants to buy that high pressure pump around the web, and bring them back. But if sales isn't involved, they're not going to have any idea what's actually happening there. So then there's the acquisition phase. This is where we actually turn these leads that we've been nurturing through email and through ads and through different things. And we're offering them things like webinars and white papers and free consultations and all those things through that nurturing phase. And now some of them are starting to raise their hands, so to speak, and say, I want to buy, I'm interested. So when those people come through, we need to have marketing and support and tech helping sales. Why support? Why are we pulling support in now? Well, because support needs to understand what's being sold to these customers, and sales needs to understand the problems and the challenges that support is hearing after these sales are taking place. So when support is involved in this process of acquisition, they can keep the salespeople accountable, but also the salespeople can help them to handle objections and things that might come through on the next phase. And then, of course, we have our support department. And our loving, caring support people need to be supported themselves by engineering and marketing and sales. Why engineering? Well, because once again, the support people are literally your listening post to make sure that the products that are being designed, redesigned, improved, the services that are being modified and changed and being made more efficient are being done so in a way that your support team is 100% in support of. So I hope that this idea of building out this new business growth team is sinking in a little bit. There are so many stories about how this is happening, and I would love to communicate with you and actually talk about your specific company and how we might be able to help you integrate this concept into your business, or slowly integrate it into portions of your business over time. And if you don't have a lot of this stuff, I don't care if it's business to business, business to consumer, if you're a nonprofit, every single company or organization on the planet has these phases to it in one degree or another. And I'd love to chat with you about it. So I hope this was valuable to you. I'm going to have these 2 sheets available for download. And if you don't see them wherever you're watching this particular webinar, you can actually click to, you can email hello@conklinmedia.com, and I would love to provide you with them. So thanks so much for hanging out today. I hope that you have an absolutely fabulous rest of your day.